Andrea Este is the head coordinator of the Toronto Black Film Festival, and Yemie Sonuga is the writer and director of My True Love's Skin, which is premiering on February 13th, 2026. Hello to both of you. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Nice to have you guys in studio. Let's start with you, Andrea. Give us the origin story here. What is the Toronto Black Film Festival, and why was it created?
So, the Toronto Black Film Festival was created, Fabienne Collas started the Montreal International Black Film Festival, and that's where everything just took off. So Fabienne, as you know, was a celebrated actress in Haiti. She arrived to Montreal and fell in love with it, decided to stay, and wanted to see how successful she could be in Montreal. And what she encountered was, refusal of no castings, refusal after refusal, which became an issue for her. And so she decided one day, I'm going to bring a Haitian film where I'm the lead actress in so they could see me work. And so she did, and no one would play it. So this led her to want to create her own festival. So it started off with the Haitian Film Festival and morphed into the Montreal International Black Film Festival, celebrated 21 years. And Toronto was then created. Fabienne felt it was very important to have a platform so that Black industry creators, filmmakers could showcase their work and give a voice to these, to these filmmakers who wouldn't be heard or seen otherwise on mainstream cinema. So Toronto is the biggest city in Canada as far as diversity, different cultures, especially the Black community is very large here. It's one of the largest, I believe. And so it was important for us to have a platform here in order to be able to bring that to the Black filmmakers here in Toronto.
Now it's 14 years.
14 years.
Throughout the evolution of this festival, have you noticed a shift towards diversity in Canadian films overall, if we look at the industry as a total?
Well, yes. So, with the murder of George Floyd, that opened a lot of eyes, a lot of Black Lives Matter movement. What it did is it really made people aware, the decision makers, funders, across all sectors, not just in film and television, but that there was a lack of representation on screen. And behind the camera, in front of the camera, Black stories weren't told by us. Even hair and makeup, lighting was a huge issue as well for for artists, actors. And so that really opened the doors. Programs were developed in order to, address these issues. There was programs, funding streams were opened. And so even like something like the Black Screen Office was created in order to give a voice to the voiceless. But now, there was a wave. So I've spoken with a lot of filmmakers and they were like, we're riding that wave right now. But now the wave seems to be taking it downhill. Okay. And so there's still much work to do. We can't just, we still need to work towards keeping it going up in the right direction.
Yemie, before we get into your film, I want to, as someone who's seen your resume, you have been on stages, you have been performing, you've done a lot. I want you to pick up on Andrea's in terms of what you've seen in terms of film, not just perhaps in film, but what we've seen in terms of Black Canadian content. Are we seeing more people in front of the cameras and behind the cameras?
I think we are seeing more people in front of the cameras, but it's one of those things that it's self-produced, self-made, and self-actualized. So it's not really something that's coming with the support that other communities may be getting. So as much as we love to say like the numbers are growing, but the numbers are growing because people are resilient, people are determined to have their stories told, determined to be like the face of a generation, to make that representation present for the people that don't have it. And I think that's the uptick we're seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's talk about a little bit about your film. This is your directorial debut here. Where did you draw inspiration from?
So I have lived in so many different places. I went to school in Scotland, lived in London, England. I've lived in America and in Canada. And the reason for this film was throughout the globe, being a Black person, it's such a distinct thing where you're from. But in Canada, it felt that our voices were even more muted. We're even more set aside, and our stories weren't really being listened to. And there was like something almost insidious about people saying, well, it's not as bad in Canada. Right. And that just kept coming up again and again and again. And I really wanted to show that, well, if you're not going to take the time to listen to our stories, how would you know if it's bad or not? And like to put like a blank kind of cover over that felt really wrong to me. And so I really wanted to take this opportunity to share our stories, and knowing that it would be in a place like the Toronto Black Film Festival where Black people would come and see ourselves and get to relate and get to hear our stories, but also find connection. That was the inspiration for this film.
All right, with that being said, let's have a look at your film.
To me, being a Black woman really has this sense of like almost like effortlessly cool. I think we come in so many different shades, so many different forms, and I love the diversity that that brings. I mean, there's this idea of like just creativity. You see a Black girl's hair, I'm always like, I don't understand how we always coming up with something new, something so innovative. And to me, that's what resilience is actually about. How can I see something in front of me and be creative about the way I'm going to approach this? And I think so often you're going through struggle or there's challenges that you might have. I think that's the beauty that a Black woman brings. It's like, yes, there's something in front of me. There's a creativity that we bring to how are we going to overcome this? How are we going to move through this?
Now, from what I understand, she's also at the Olympics right now.
Yeah, Felicia's at the Olympics right now.
Competing for us, making us proud. What are you hoping to leave audiences with watching that?
The biggest thing I really want people to take away with, especially Black people, is that you can find other Black people. Like, we're here. Life is so grand, but don't be afraid to like follow your dreams. That's like one of the best things about what we do as artists, is to make something that's like intangible tangible, to make that possibility a reality. And so with this film, I really want people to see it and think, wow, I have people I can connect with. If I want to do this, I'm able to contact this person and maybe take the next step forward to it. And if somebody else can, maybe I can too. And not just me, like 9 other people. Come along with me, Mom and Dad, let's do it.
Andrea, let's build on that. When we talk about resilience as well, why is it important to highlight underrepresented voices?
For a lot of the reasons Yemie just mentioned, for many years, we didn't see people who looked like us on screen. Black stories seemed to be focused on, the struggle, we come from ghettos. It was always the same narrative. And so now I find that that's changed. It's changing slowly, but surely, because we have other stories to tell. And I think these stories, whether it's, Afrofuturism, whether it's something that has to do with, because we all come from different backgrounds, different lifestyles. And so those stories are just as pertinent as the struggle, and it's nice to see films that are focusing on the celebrations of Black people, the accomplishments of Black people, And so it's very important to see Black people on screen. I mean, yeah.
I am curious, film. Why do you think film is the medium for stories like this?
Because it's visual and we connect with, I'm very visual, and I believe a lot of people are, most of the population probably is, and through watching something, it affects you, you get connected to it. And I think it's a genre and a medium to really, how could I, put in pictures, put in a language and pictures, and to actually see that, it really resonates with people deep down, and not just the Black community, but all people. So we do find connections through film, especially.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on both sides of this camera now with your directorial debut, but why film?
For me, in particular, I think digital media is the fastest way to get your word across. Everyone has access to a phone, and people can watch your message through that. Someone in Nigeria can watch it
it's true.
Today, not even today, in 3 seconds, So that is why the medium of film. And there is something about what we see as fiction is now becoming fact, right? The stories we tell are what people are perceiving to be true. So in that sense of it, to be a filmmaker, to be a storyteller is actually a form of education now,
Andrea, what can viewers at home expect in the coming days? You got a very jam-packed couple days to
fantastic lineup of films. We kick off tonight with Of Mud and Blood, a very strong documentary feature. And then following that, we've got, on Friday, we have Being Black in Canada. which is where we'll be able to see Yemie's films, and all the cohort, 2025 cohorts are premiering their world premieres. So that's also a really great event, plus other films going on at the Carlton Cinema. And we have We Want the Funk. Mr. Stanley Nelson is in the house.
Yes.
He'll be here tonight too, receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. And we have a Kids Day on Monday, Kids Festival, Kids Film Festival. So everything for everyone. I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
All right. Well, really appreciate it. Wish you all the best
Thank you.
on the festival. Andrea, Yemie, all the best to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Remember, play both sides on film. And I know you probably loved being behind the camera as well.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.